There is a journey reserved only for the most resilient hearts, for those whom God selects not by chance, but for a divine purpose. Have you ever felt that your pain is different? That your tears carry a depth that few understand? Then this message is especially for you, the chosen ones by Allah, those destined to traverse storms that transform souls. Most people live on the surface, but you dive into the depths of existence. Your scars are not marks of weakness, but emblems of a heavenly strength. Every challenge you face is not a punishment, but a divine chisel sculpting your destiny. Prepare to uncover the 5 true pains that only the chosen ones experience. A roadmap of spiritual transformation that few have the courage to walk. I am George, a passionate storyteller who touches the soul. If this message resonates in your heart, subscribe to the channel. Together, let's unveil the mysteries of the chosen souls. Your anguish is not fictitious. Your tribulation transcends common suffering. You have faced emotional storms that would bring anyone to their knees, endured intimate fractures in territories so deep that silence became your only language. The fundamental truth is that God does not hurt without reason. He selects and polishes spirits, not to destroy, but to reveal hidden potentials. While many seek comfort, you walk a path of silent trials, filled with invisible tears and secret sacrifices. This process does not represent divine abandonment, but a special choice. Not because you are extraordinary, but because your interior holds seeds of transformation. God recognizes in you a project of spiritual evolution, something precious that deserves to be cultivated and protected. Spiritual traditions teach us that the most challenged individuals are often destined for transcendent missions. Your more complex journey is not accidental, but part of a greater purpose that exceeds ordinary understandings. If your existence seems more turbulent than average, this is not a punishment. It is an invitation to discover deeper dimensions of resilience and faith. You are being prepared for something beyond the ordinary, shaped by experiences that few have the courage to traverse. Each obstacle is a divine chisel, sculpting your soul. Each tear, a ritual of purification. Each wound, an opportunity for growth. Your pain is not a burden, but a privilege of transformation. Ordinary people do not understand this journey. For them, your path seems incomprehensible, almost absurd. But you know, deep within your being, that every step, every stumble, every moment of despair is weaving an extraordinary destiny. Not everyone is chosen for such a crossing. Very few have the temperament needed to endure such refinement. You are one of those rare spirits, prepared not by ease, but by the ability to reinterpret suffering into wisdom. Your story is not about victimization, but about resilience. Not about being broken, but about being rebuilt. Each scar tells a chapter of your transformation. Each mark is a seal of your inner strength. God has not left you alone. He accompanies you silently, preparing you for a mission that you do not yet fully understand. Your journey is a calling, an invitation to transcend limits, to become something greater than your circumstances. Persisting in kindness, even when the path seems thorny, is the true test of character. When injustices strike you, when the judgment of others seems overwhelming, do not allow your essence to harden. Transform each blow into an opportunity to deepen your sincerity and compassion. God sees beyond what human eyes can perceive. His gaze penetrates the deepest layers of being, recognizing every gesture, every silent intention. He is the guardian of pure hearts, the protector of those who genuinely seek to do good, even when no one recognizes them. Your suffering does not represent weakness, but the unique mark of a chosen journey. Every tear shed in silence, every moment of misunderstanding, are seeds of a deeper spiritual transformation. Allow these experiences to refine you, not embitter you. The pain of constantly giving without receiving in return is a path of special trial. You are the one who always listens, always supports, always offers your time, energy, and heart. But when you need support, you find only a deafening void. No one asks how you are. No one checks on your condition. Thus begins an intimate questioning. Is my worth only present when I am useful? It's a type of loneliness that few understand, a burden that only true givers intimately know. God sees every act of generosity, even when humans ignore it. Your kindness does not get lost in the universe, even when it seems invisible. Every act of selflessness is recorded in a celestial accounting that transcends worldly understanding. The reason for this trial may be a sublime teaching. Giving without expecting recognition, practicing generosity as an act of spiritual purity. Do not seek applause, but cultivate sincerity as an inner treasure. The reward for your actions surpasses any earthly return. God prepares great givers for extraordinary missions, not to be used, but to lead with compassion in a world that longs for genuine love. Loneliness can manifest even in crowded environments. Imagine yourself surrounded by friends, in family gatherings, surrounded by familiar faces, and yet feeling completely disconnected. It's as if no one truly sees you. No one understands the depth of your soul. You smile, interact, nod your head, but internally you wonder, where do I truly belong? This feeling does not stem from physical distance, but from a profound emotional and spiritual disconnection. It is an experience that few sensitive hearts truly comprehend. Each smile may hide an ocean of sadness. Each social gesture may mask an intimate vulnerability. But this pain is not a flaw. It is a calling, an invitation to a journey of self-knowledge and spiritual growth that few have the courage to walk. Your path, seemingly solitary, is in fact a road of divine refinement. God guides you through trails that few dare to explore, preparing you for a mission that transcends ordinary understanding. Isolation may not be a sentence, but a divine invitation for a deep reconnection. When God wishes to draw near to you, He may first distance you from worldly distractions, the deafening noise of external expectations, and the voices that do not understand your essence. In this territory of silence, where pain settles in as an intimate companion, a secret passage opens, a spiritual pathway traversable only by you. It is a space where prayers shed formality, tears gain healing power, and your soul finds a connection beyond human relationships. Do not hasten to fill this emptiness with superficial distractions. Allow God to inhabit this space. This feeling does not represent punishment, but an invitation for a transformative inner journey. Guilt is a persistent whisper that no one else can hear. Invisible to external gazes, it settles in your consciousness, following every movement, every breath. It is the memory of choices that make you shudder, of moments that you wish to erase. This inner voice incessantly repeats, "You are not enough. You will never be completely forgiven." Even in moments of apparent peace, when you pray, fast, and strive, it resonates. Remember what you did. But there is a sublime truth in this pain. It proves that your heart remains alive and sensitive. If God desired your separation, He would have allowed your soul to become insensate, numb. The burning that passes through you every time you remember the past is not a curse, but a call to repentance. It is an invitation to recognize your humanity, your fragilities, and simultaneously your capacity for regeneration. True repentance does not seek to appear perfect. It consists of bearing the weight of memories and still walking toward God. Head lowered, but heart wide open, vulnerable, but hopeful. God allows his most sincere servants to experience falls, not to humiliate them, but to refine them. Each stumble is an opportunity to develop compassion, gentleness, and humility, virtues that can only be earned through the real challenges of existence. The pain of repentance shapes you, not to destroy, but to rebuild. When you rise, it will be with a sincerity impossible to feign. May this pain soften you, not harden you. May it remind you of your journey, of how far you have come. Notice others growing seemingly with ease. Someone gets married, another starts a business. There are those who gain recognition quickly. You genuinely smile, without envy, but internally question, why does my path seem so hidden? It is not jealousy that consumes you, but a deep weariness. Weariness of climbing in obscurity while others seem to fly. Exhaustion from carrying dreams that never seem to germinate, from offering your best without reaping the expected fruits. Your journey, though solitary, is not lesser. It is simply different. God guides you along paths that few understand, preparing you for a mission beyond ordinary comprehension. Being stagnant, feeling stuck in one place, may seem like a sentence. But what if this apparent delay does not represent rejection, but divine protection? In the spiritual journey, we are constantly reminded that God's timing transcends our limited understanding. Your waiting is not punishment, but preparation. God does not simply grant when we believe we are ready, but when the blessing will not cause us harm. The solitary and prolonged route serves as a training ground where your resilience is forged, your intentions purified, and potential tendencies toward arrogance deconstructed. Divine wisdom operates in dimensions that exceed our immediate perception. Perhaps what momentarily appears as adversity is, in fact, a disguised gift. We do not always comprehend the higher purposes that shape our trajectory. It may seem that your story is moving in slow motion while others accelerate. But this apparent stagnation may mean that God is building something extraordinary in your essence. He does not rush your success because he is polishing your sincerity. If you identify with this journey, know that you are not alone. Your silent struggles, guilt, loneliness, misunderstanding, do not represent failure, but refinement. They are marks of a divine transformation process. From a spiritual perspective, those who carry the heaviest burdens are not the weakest, but the most beloved. The greatest trials are reserved for the most resilient spirits, capable of enduring pressures that would destroy others. Have you gone through consecutive difficulties and still resist? Do you keep trying, even with trembling hands and a tired heart? This is not weakness, but the purest manifestation of strength. You were not made to fit in, but to be shaped, elevated, protected. Your journey prepares you for a mission that few will understand. Hold your pain with dignity, but keep your faith even closer. Your prayer does not need to be elaborate, just sincere. Ask God not for the removal of difficulties, but for the strength to cross them. May this pain soften your heart, not harden it. May your struggles bring you closer, not push you away. May you never forget that you were chosen not for perfection, but for potential. Every tear, every moment of doubt, every instant of apparent defeat is part of a divine polishing process. You are being prepared for something beyond ordinary understanding, shaped by invisible hands that weave your destiny with precision and love. Embrace your pain not as punishment, but as an invitation to growth. Your journey is unique. Your path is sacred. And when the right moment arrives, and it certainly will, you will understand that each step, each tear, each challenge had a greater purpose. Now let's talk a little about each pain so that the chosen ones can overcome them and move forward with their divine purpose. The 5 sacred pains of God's chosen ones. The pain of misunderstanding. The first pain that affects the chosen ones is the feeling of being constantly misinterpreted. Your purest intentions are distorted. Your gestures of kindness are misunderstood. You speak with gentleness, but you are seen as weak. You offer help, but you are accused of having hidden motives. This pain is not a flaw, but a divine seal. Great transformers have always been misunderstood before being understood. Your difference is not a mistake, but a mark of distinction. God chooses you precisely for this ability to remain whole, even when no one understands you. To overcome. Cultivate your inner peace. Do not waste energy explaining yourself to those who do not wish to understand. Your truth does not need external approval. Let God validate your path. The pain of giving without return. The second pain is the loneliness of the giver. You are always the support, the listener, the one who helps. But when you need support, you find only silence. People seek you in difficult moments but rarely ask how you are doing. This pain reveals your spiritual greatness. Giving without expectation of return is an act of elevation. God observes every gesture, every crumb of compassion. Your generosity does not get lost in the universe, even when it seems invisible. To overcome, understand that your reward does not come from men, but from God. Each act of kindness is a deposit in the heavenly bank. Your energy does not deplete. It is constantly renewed by a divine source. The pain of existential loneliness. The third pain is deep loneliness. You may be surrounded by people, in family gatherings, with acquaintances, and still feel completely disconnected. It's as if no one really sees you or understands the depth of your soul. This loneliness is not a flaw. It is a calling. God sometimes isolates us so we can hear Him better. This disconnection is an invitation for a deeper connection with the divine. To overcome, transform loneliness into contemplation. Use this inner space to strengthen your spiritual connection. Your loneliness is a sanctuary where God whispers secrets that the world does not comprehend. The pain of guilt and regret. The fourth pain is the weight of guilt, an invisible pain that no one sees, but that constantly follows you. Memories of choices that make you shudder, moments you wish to erase. This inner voice repeats, "You are not enough. You will never be forgiven." But there is a sublime truth in this pain. It proves that your heart remains alive and sensitive. To overcome, recognize that sincere repentance is a gift. Do not seek perfection, but sincerity. Each tear of regret brings you closer to God. Your vulnerability is your greatest strength. The pain of waiting and stagnation. The fifth pain is the apparent lack of movement. You watch others growing rapidly, marriages, businesses, recognitions, while your journey seems frozen. It is not jealousy that consumes you, but a deep weariness. Exhaustion from carrying dreams that seem not to germinate, from offering your best without reaping the expected fruits. To overcome, understand that your waiting is not punishment, but divine protection. God does not delay you. He prepares you. Every moment of apparent immobility is an investment in your transformation. The essence of overcoming being chosen by God does not mean having a life without pain, but having the ability to transform pain into growth. Each of these wounds is, in fact, a seal of divine love, an invitation to a deeper journey. Your pains are not punishments, they are refinements. They are not obstacles, they are opportunities. Each tear, each moment of doubt, each instant of apparent defeat is part of a divine polishing process. You have not been abandoned, you have been chosen. Your journey is not about arriving quickly, but about truly becoming who you were destined to be. Trust in God's timing. Your moment will come in a way that no one will be able to block. Compassion emerges as a hallmark of the truly chosen. Not a superficial compassion, but a capacity to feel the pain of others as one's own. Their hearts must be so sensitive that they can transform the suffering of others into fuel for acts of kindness. Humility is essential on this journey. The closer one is to God, the more aware of their own fragility the chosen become. Pride is the greatest enemy of spiritual evolution. The truly elevated are those who recognize their total divine dependence, who understand that every breath, every achievement is a gift, not a personal merit. Patience reveals itself as the supreme virtue. The chosen learn to trust in divine timing, understanding that each apparent delay is, in fact, meticulous preparation. It is not about arriving quickly, but about being truly ready for the assigned mission. The courage to be different marks the path of the chosen. They do not seek human approval, but divine alignment. Being willing to walk alone, misunderstood, criticized, yet remaining steadfast in their inner truth, is the true test of faith. The ability to transform pain into wisdom is an expected gift. Each wound should be seen not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for growth. The chosen are not spared from suffering, but empowered to extract light from the deepest darkness. Generosity transcends the material. God expects His chosen ones to be generous with their essence, with time, understanding, and forgiveness. A generosity that does not calculate, that does not expect a return, that simply flows like a river of compassion. Detachment emerges as a fundamental mark. Not detachment as indifference, but as freedom from material and emotional ties that limit spiritual growth. The chosen understand that nothing truly belongs to them. They are merely temporary stewards of divine gifts. The ability to forgive, including and especially oneself, represents an advanced stage of the spiritual journey. Forgiveness liberates, transforms, reconnects. The chosen understand that each mistake is an opportunity for learning, not a definitive burden. Finally, God expects a constant search for knowledge and evolution. Not merely intellectual knowledge, but wisdom that transforms, that moves the heart toward compassion, light, and a greater purpose. The journey of the chosen is not about arriving, but about becoming. A continuous transformation where each challenge is a divine chisel, sculpting a soul destined to touch the world with love, understanding, and transcendent purpose. The journey of God's chosen ones is marked by a series of challenges that shape character and refine the soul. It is not a path of ease, but of profound transformation. Each obstacle arises not to destroy but to reveal true inner strength. The first great lesson is to understand that being chosen does not mean being perfect. It means being moldable, willing to learn, capable of reconnecting even after the greatest challenges. God does not select those who are already ready, but those with potential for growth. Resilience develops in the most difficult moments, when everything seems to crumble, when the darkness seems total. It is precisely at that moment that the inner light begins to shine. The chosen learn to find hope in the most unlikely places. Pain is not a punishment, but a process of polishing. Each tear, each moment of doubt, each instant of apparent defeat serves as a divine chisel, sculpting a deeper, more compassionate soul, more connected with the greater purpose. The journey requires detachment. Detaching does not mean not loving, but loving without possessing. Understanding that nothing truly belongs to us. We are only temporary stewards of the blessings received. True wealth lies in the ability to give, not to accumulate. Compassion develops through suffering. The more you understand your own fragility, the more you can feel the pain of others. The chosen transform their wounds into bridges of understanding, into gestures of unconditional love. Patience becomes a fundamental ally. God's timing is not our timing, What seems like a delay may actually be meticulous preparation. Each moment of waiting is an investment in spiritual growth. Humility emerges as the greatest strength, recognizing that we are small in the face of divine greatness, but important enough to be loved. No chosen one reaches the top alone. Each achievement is the result of divine support and personal effort. Forgiveness of oneself and others becomes fuel for evolution. Holding on to grudges is like drinking poison, hoping the other will die. The chosen understand that releasing resentment is the true act of freedom. The pursuit of knowledge extends beyond books. It is a journey of inner understanding, of self-knowledge, of connection with the divine essence that inhabits every being. Learning is not about accumulating information, but about transforming oneself. Courage does not mean the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward even when everything seems impossible. The chosen tremble, cry, and doubt, but they continue. Their strength lies not in the absence of fragility, but in the willingness to keep going. At the end of this journey, I leave an invitation. Share your story. What pains have you felt as a chosen one of God? How did you transform those pains into growth? What was the moment you understood that your journey, even though difficult, had a greater purpose? Share in the comments. Your story may be the balm that heals the soul of someone who has not yet understood their worth. Each experience matters. Each chosen one has a unique mission. Your pain is not in vain. God chose you, not by chance, but because He saw in you a light capable of illuminating the darkest places.